This show is so weird, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be mad or rooting for who. I don't know who to root for anymore. Like, I'm like, yay, they're taking down the demons at the same time, and they took down the Zolba Empire, but at the same time I'm going, wait, that was kind of mean. They were suffering, and what am I supposed to do? I don't know. It's so weird. The show is so weird. But now this is my thoughts on episode 10 of the Idaten Deities No Only Peace. So let's jump into it. Yeah, like, strong focus on these demons basically being roaches. Like, you can't get rid of them. And they're spreading, A lot of time jumps in this episode as well. I think we had like a total of, I don't know, almost 10 years, I think, that they had spanned throughout this entire time. Obviously, opening up, we've had 2 years pass. And Hayato and Paula and Gil are all basically training and trying to get stronger. Eventually, at some point, I think Corey ends up joining them because he ends up becoming an adult and making himself stronger. So they're sitting there training. At some point, they point out the fact that Gil is like progressing really, really fast. So that's kind of surprising them. Buzz and Emiliano end up showing up in front of Piscolate and basically begging them to help them control their child. Obviously, they had a child and they can't control it. It, of course, attacked her. And so they're asking, well, where's the other demons? Let us know where the other demons are. They're like, we don't know. We just separated. And that's when they just kill them. And like I said, I was like, that was mean. I felt bad for them. I guess it does. We don't really have a good guy and bad guy in this show. So I guess it does make sense. But still, that made me feel bad for them. On the side of Raki, she's just like pumping out babies like crazy over here. At the same time, Miku's over here basically trying to figure out a way of them recreating a body for Obami to be inside of. And being that Miku is extremely smart, she basically created a system for Obami to know exactly when he needed to reach out to find Miku. And that was the moment that the births start happening and the news starts covering these births attacking people, he would know to search this specific phrase on the internet to find the blog that she's using to know where to download himself to get inside this robot that she bought. So, again, we're going on the aspect that Miku is very, very smart, very observant, and knowing, very, very calculative. And so now that he is in a body, she's like, I'm not going anywhere yet. We're going to stay here and create babies. So, obviously, Obami, if he wants a place to research, he can go stay with the others who already have this underground plant and facilities for him to work in. So, again, she uses some sort of very smart way of essentially sending a message through video game code because she knew that one of them played video games with her a long time ago, so she'll be able to decipher it. So, again, very much so hitting on how very smart Miku is. And so, yeah, while a lot of these old demons are kind of showing up all over the place, they're breeding like crazy because the environment is allowing them to eat a lot more. At the same time, like I said, Miku is kind of hiding away, creating more humanoid demons through the use of Umeo, this nurse, and herself to breed with these 2 children that they had pretty much already inside of Umeo, which, yeah, that was it's a very interesting scene, to say the least. And it ended on a very weird note, because at the end point of this episode, this person that we assume is Miku is basically walking around the streets, and there's tons of wanted posters for her, so obviously they're looking for her, and immediately, once they notice her, Pontea's heading straight for her. I don't think that's Miku. I don't see her being that stupid. Just basically walking out in the middle of nowhere. Some guy tries to jump her and she shoots him. I don't think it's Miku. I think that's a very dumb move for her to make. So here's the thing. We already know the nurse that was with Miku. Haven't written down her name yet. She can basically cut and peel off skin. I don't know that she would allow her to cut her own face off, but keeping that in mind, she could technically create another self. Maybe Miku has regenerative abilities that we don't know about yet. I know that she doesn't have really much power as a demon. She's just more, her power is really in her observantness, their ability to really calculate. But I don't know, unless they establish that maybe one of these demons that came out of Umeo ends up being a shapeshifter, that's probably I think that's probably the most likely out of everything, is that one of these kids that Umeo has created possibly has shape-shifting abilities, because we already had a 7-year span jump. One of these kids could be able to do that. But at any rate, that basically leaves us for what are they going to do for this 11th episode. Now, again, we haven't really established that there's going to be a second season yet. So I'm really curious as to what kind of impactful ending we can really give this series. Because we already had our climactic battle, and that was a couple episodes ago. That's when they took down the Zobel Empire. So what can they do to really bookend this series really solid? I'm pretty much 100% sure this last episode will not have Obami coming back out of the seal. I think that would be pretty much a detriment to the story as a whole. I think that's probably something they should save for later on in the story. Hopefully a second season. But at the same time, I question what can they do as equally as cool as that? It'll probably be something to do with maybe something very, very humongous built out of the demons that are being spawned and procreating. Possibly some sort of large-scale herd of demons that may end up rising out of the ocean. But again, I really do think a lot of my question comes around, what is Miku doing? Obviously, Miku's trying to stir up something, and I don't know what that actually is. Is it her just basically trying to figure out how fast they can get there to see if they can flee? Or maybe she has a trap that she's trying to spring on them. I'll be really curious to see where they end up going with that. But yeah, I am really curious to see what they end up concluding this with. But so far, again, I don't know why, but I really love this series. And it just, like, I think a lot of it's because it's just weird. It's a weird show that's really not afraid of doing anything. It has no filters. It has no filters, and it has nothing that it's really straying away from. Like, if there's something they want to get into, they're just going to do it. These are demons. They're obviously not going to have morals that humans do. The Idatens are these deities that really don't see things the same way we do. So they don't see that idea of, well, this is a mother demon. Even if it is a demon, it's still a mother, and it's upset. What in the heck? Why'd you do that to her? It's not afraid of this stuff. And even though it's like really sucky to watch sometimes, it's like still at the same time cool that they're not really straying away from anything. So really refreshing in a sense. But yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 10 of the Idaten Deities, No Only Peace. Like I said, we only have one more episode. I really hope that we have a solid conclusion to this, or like I said, a sequel announcement. But yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 10. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Comment, let me know what you thought of this series or the episode. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video if you can. Support us on Patreon if you can. We definitely appreciate everybody that does. And y'all take care.